sexy. I'm cute. I'm popular to boot.
Wait, which one's your favorite of the Bring It Ons? Is it the first one or?
Yeah, I really like the first one. That is my ultimate favorite. Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Dell.
And this is the Black Catch-Up, where we're catching up on iconic black media we missed out on in our more conservative religious childhood.
All right, so today was... Today was Bring It On.
Yes, it was. As usual, the IMDb. A champion high school cheerleading squad discovers its previous captain stole all their best routines from an inner city school and must scramble to compete at this year's championships. So, okay. Yeah. Full disclosure, I've seen Bring It On so many times. Yeah. I love Bring It On. I've seen most of the sequels up to like the Christina Miliani one. I have the soundtrack for Bring It On the musical on my Amazon Music and my iPod, sorry. But like, love Bring It On. So this was a kind of like a refresh for me, basically.
Yeah, this was my first time seeing it somehow. Like I've known you to love this movie. I know you've seen it so many times, and like I feel like I've seen it so many times in the room, but I haven't seen most of this movie somehow. So
I love it. I don't know how either, because our dad likes this movie too, and he's watched it with me a lot. And like there was a certain period of time where on E! Or like other like TV networks where like Saturdays you'd see like Bring It On and like Legally Blonde like every Saturday for like months. So I don't know how you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it almost feels like I went out of my way to not see this one, you know?
I know! I feel like you would have to.
But glad to have seen it. Here we are. You know?
As always, starting off with the things we liked about it, so you can start this one since this was your first time.
Yeah, I like the general premise of it. I thought it was like a really fun, like lighthearted kind of story, and I also liked how the main team didn't win in the end. That was just kind of refreshing. But it was just like a very fun story to kind of watch the two cheer squads compete against each other. And I thought like a lot of good like funny one-liners came out of that competition. Like I think anytime two different schools were kind of like going against each other, there were always just some good like one-liners that were gotten off. So it was just an overall like fun kind of storyline and good execution too.
Yeah, the script of Bring It On is honestly like so solid. Mm-hmm. Like the overall story is great. Plus, it gives you. I think this comes up like every couple of months on Twitter. The scene, one of my favorite scenes, where there's the football game and the Clovers come in and they like do the same routine as the Toros in front of the entire audience. And that's just like a quick, comprehensive look of what cultural appropriation is. And it pops up on Twitter like every couple of months when something happens. And like it does a good job of showing that. It also does a good job of slightly addressing, because it's still a pretty lighthearted movie, but it still, I guess, addresses the wealth divide between these two communities and how it affects their circumstances and the opportunities that they get. Like, the Clovers are in a poor community, so even when they do the very, very best and win the regionals competition, I think nationals is the big, when they win regionals, they still aren't on the list for nationals because they can't afford to go, and they have to like do all these extra things in order to afford to go. And because they're from like an inner city school, it's probably why Red thinks it's so easy for her to go in and just like steal the routines, because nobody would care. So it does the story is just very solid, script very solid on Bring It On.
Yeah, I actually had that written down as one of my favorite scenes. That scene where the girls from the Clover School come to the game and like and do the same exact routine, but kind of like talk shit at the same time. So, definitely.
Tried to steal our bit, but you look like shit. We're the ones who are down with it. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, very good. But I also want to second. I do like how they didn't how they kind of highlighted the difference in circumstances between the two schools. Yeah. But also didn't do like the kind of white savior move of having the girls like accept the check from the girl's father. So I thought that was like a nice little touch, showing like, hey, we want to get it on our own. Like
we're gonna get there on our own.
Pity check kind of thing. So let's see. I think those were the main highlights. Like I think what I had down was I thought it was like a really funny movie, and like it had a lot of one-liners, but funny. I didn't write down any of the one-liners. But I'm sure you could probably rattle some off. but
I could totally rattle them off. I love the opening cheer scene. that is literally, I can still quote the entire opening cheer as I did when I was watching the movie. I could definitely do that. You're a real cheer tater Torrance, like that one. Yep, the audition for the cheerleading tryouts is actually what it's called. As you can see, I'm not a cheerleader. And I also like, this is just like a small touch. I like the fact that the Toros football team sucked. That's just a really funny touch there.
Yeah.
Where they like try to bully the cheerleaders, but they're like, hey dude, you got a lot of talk for someone who just lost. All that stuff. And how even the audience, when they come out, they're like literally just here to see the cheerleaders because they know their football team's not gonna do shit. Like, great movie.
Yeah, I thought there were a few good running gags. I had that running gag of the football team sucking, and then the girl who got made fun of for having a fat ass. I don't know why I thought that running joke was funny too.
Oh, also, the other scene that I really like is the regionals competition where the Toros see that their cheer was that they had the same choreographer as the team before them, and they still have to like perform the cheer and like smile while they're doing like all the moves as though they weren't like. I love that.
Yeah. I did actually like the scene with the choreographer guy. I thought that scene was just like super goofy and just like funny.
Yep.
Like him being like super intense about like jazz
spirit
hands.
Fingers.
Or spirit
These
fingers.
These aren't spirit fingers. These are spirit fingers.
Yeah.
So much freaking out.
All right.
So on to the negatives.
Yeah. I guess you want to kick it off or?
Yeah, I'll kick it off. I just said the 2000s Hallmark, which is a lot of casual, like, gay jokes, homophobia. And there's, like, the running theme of Courtney, who, like, doesn't wear her little, spanky shorts under her thing. She, like, literally gets assaulted on the thing. It's played for laughs. And, like, when you're younger, you do laugh. But then, like, when you think about it a little bit more, it's like, hey, he kind of just, like, assaulted her in public and, like, no one does anything.
Yeah.
It's fully wild. But just the casual, like, gay jokes and homophobia, that comes up a lot. And, like, gay slurs, they say those a lot. Especially because when you're dealing with, like, male cheerleaders, that happens a lot. So the 2000s Hallmark.
Yeah, I had the same thing written down. And, like you said, like, with the context of this movie and, like, guys being cheerleaders, like, there definitely was, like, a lot of it. I guess the other thing I had down wasn't really, like, a huge negative. I just wish we got more of the other school.
There should be so much more Clovers.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, like, how... Because I do think they were in there a good amount, you know, given, like, the storyline. You know, like, it didn't really make sense for us to be, like, following them as well, but I would have liked that, you know, but... I
would have just liked to see a little bit more of them, like, even in the training montages for regionals or nationals or whatever, maybe we could have slipped them in there as well, too. Maybe they do other things to raise money besides just, like... call into Paulina's show or whoever that woman is. I actually don't remember her name, but maybe some of that. I would have just liked more Clovers too. The last thing I have, if I think it's my turn, is the romance between Torrance and Cliff. We could have ditched that and that could have been what we ditched to see the Clovers more because the romance is not strong.
Yeah,
at
Cliff
least
was
not to me.
the girl's brother, right?
Yeah, he was the girl's brother. And I was fine with Torrance and, what's his face? Like, Eric?
Yeah,
I actually can't remember his
guy,
name either.
Yeah.
Yeah, the graduated guy. That was fine because to me, it kind of seemed like her being torn between her old life and, like, her new life and, like, this new friendship and new, like, being captain and just kind of, like, ditching the old and, like, kind of torn between the two sides of, like, oh, let's stay with what's worked for us, which is stealing these people's cheers and doing all this stuff and essentially just being lazy white people instead of, like, challenging herself and, like, working harder to try something more creative and new. So I thought that was good. However, her romance with Cliff literally doesn't make any sense. And when I think about the movie, I never think about him. Like, the cheering is so strong. Like, we didn't talk about it, but the actual cheerleading, the physical cheerleading, really good in the movie. Like, they had a really good choreographer for that stuff and stunt coordinator and everything, so it all looked, like, really, really good. But, like, when you think of this movie, you don't think of Cliff. So, like, I could have ditched... I think even when I was younger and I watched this, I definitely didn't need her chasing Cliff for no reason. Because I think what happens is she literally, like, meets him in class once and she's like... I think I like this guy because he likes The Clash or something. I'm like, girl, that just means you need to, like, not listen to the same radio station all the time. You find new music if you branched out. Like, you don't need this
yeah.
guy.
No, I didn't write that down, but I definitely agree. Like, the romance in this one, I was like, not really feeling it. And I kind of chalked it up to, I guess this is like a 2000s teen movie. They kind of just need to have a romance in there. But I guess the other thought I did have on that was, I almost wish they would have made her love interest someone on the Clovers, just so we could have gotten more Clovers, you know? I don't know exactly how that would have made the rest of the movie, but that was kind of my first thought on, like,
I could see that too.
Like, we could have done
I will say I don't think we meet any of the male Clovers. Like, I know they have them, but we don't meet any of them. But I get what you mean. We could have definitely done that. But they did something like that and Bring It On the fourth one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did something like that in the fourth one.
I gotta wait. I gotta watch the other three, you know?
There's not even three. There's not even four. There's like so many more, Anthony. There's still another one that came out like 2017. Like, they were still making these.
Wow.
It's like a huge franchise.
Story, you know? Yeah.
We cover them all.
Oh, man.
But that's all I had. Do you have anything else?
That's all I have as well. Are you ready to get into ratings?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense I go first, I think.
Yeah. You're the newbie.
Yeah, no, I'm the new one. I give this one a 3. It was a lot of fun for me. Again, just like a really fun, like, teen movie, like, again, like, not pretty lighthearted, but again, like, a lot of just good one-liners. Even, like, the cheering was fun to watch. Just, like, a lot of good jokes in this one, you know? And, yeah, I think that's kind of what did it for me, you know? And again, like, it didn't overstay its welcome. The plot line was very concise and, like, made sense, and there weren't too many extraneous characters. We did mention the love interest, but that, like, he wasn't even, like, a huge factor in the movie. So,
he really wasn't. That's why I think you could have cut him and then showed the Clovers a bit more.
Yeah. But, overall, definitely, like, a very enjoyable movie.
This is going to be the most biased rating I ever give on this channel. I give this a 4.5 out of 5. Like, I love this movie. It still holds up to me. Besides the, like, off-color jokes that were, like, homophobic, that stuff doesn't hold up. It never did. But I've seen it multiple times. I can still quote a lot of it. I think those jokes don't really... Or I think... none of my other cons, as in, like, the more Clovers or the romance thing, that doesn't take away from my enjoyment of this movie. And I still think that the message of it is incredibly relevant and literally pops up on Twitter, like, every couple of months. No exaggeration. I don't know how that keeps happening. But, yeah, I still love this movie. I watch it all the time. I would watch it again. It'd take me a couple months to, like, get in the mood again, but I love this movie.
Yeah, nice. So, final question. Do you wish you saw this one sooner? I guess it's just...
I don't know how much sooner I could have seen it. I could have, like, seen it out of the womb the year it came out. I don't think I did that, but this doesn't apply to me.
Mine was, like, kind of a no, but I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks I would have enjoyed it a little more in, like, high school me. But it wasn't like a strong no or yes either way. So I think we're settling on a no. But I do have that thing in the back of my head, like, maybe younger me would have enjoyed this a little more. But that was Bring It On.
Yes.
YouTube housekeeping, like, comment, subscribe.
Ring the bell for notifications. If you have any movie suggestions for us, you can leave them in the comments down below. We do movies on Tuesdays and Fridays. All of our socials will be linked in the description box down below, and we'll see you next time to catch up. Bye! Welcome to the Bring It On family.
I know, this was like a super 2000s teen movie. It just felt so 2000s.
It's so 2000s.
Like, everything about it.
It's so 2000s. You know? The hair, the makeup, like, the outfits, dress, the joke, like, everything is so 2000s. It's like the perfect time capsule movie. Like, if someone who was, like, an alien or something like that came down and was like, what was the 2000s? You could literally show them Bring It On. And it'd be like, this was the 2000s. This is what everyone's trying to make come back for some reason.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you think about it, like, when Missy first auditions and she has that, like, weird, like, not dreads, but weirdly, like, twisted hair, I'm like, people did that, like, ew.
Yeah, that was a thing. You know?